Hey everybody, I'm Jen Garrett. My passion for football and pushing boundaries has helped me to create a successful business using the same performance building principles of the world's best players. Through my Move the Ball book, workshops, and consulting work, I've used the same system to help thousands of people to think and execute like a pro athlete when it comes to business and branding. Now, I'm on a mission to help you utilize those tools and strategies to elevate your hustle and get you across the goal line. So get ready. It's time to suit up, to show up, and to move the ball. Hey, everyone. It's great to be back with you for another episode of Move the Ball. If this is your first time listening, welcome. And if you've been a part of the Move the Ball movement for quite some time, welcome back. This episode is part of my special Path to the Draft series, where I'm having conversations with NFL draft prospects on their path to the draft. Now, if you haven't yet subscribed to the podcast, make sure that you do so that you never miss an episode as part of this series, as well as the regular show. I've got a great lineup of guests coming up. And on this podcast, we talk about business, branding, sports, and of course, how to move the ball. All right. For today's episode, inside the huddle with us and ready to share his story and talk about his path to the draft is Nick Cross. Nick is a safety who played college football at the University of Maryland. During his college football career, Nick was a 3-time All Big Ten Conference honorable mention. And in this past season, he started all 13 games, had 66 tackles, 44 of them solo, and he led the team with 3 interceptions and 2 forced fumbles. Nick also had 3.5 tackles for loss, TFLs, 3 sacks, and 4 pass breakups. Nick, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm excited to chat with you. I know we've been talking about getting you on the show for a little while now, so it's good to have you on today. So where I want to kick off our conversation is just talking about how you got into football, because it's an interesting story. It's a little different than some of the other guests that I usually have on the show. You actually didn't play football till high school. I know you wanted to as a kid, but your dad wouldn't let you. Tell us more about that.
It was just something that, he thought wasn't good for me at the time. Football is a violent game and caused a lot of head trauma or whatever you want to call it. And when I was younger, he just thought it was in my best interest to, wait till my brain was a little more developed, till my body was a little more developed. And he told me that when I got to high school, he'd let me give it a shot. And, when I got to high school, he stood on his word and he let me go out there and play football. And I started playing football at DeMatha as a freshman in 2015. And it went on from there. I started playing defensive end my freshman year, moved to a nickel rover position on varsity as a sophomore, and then started playing safety my junior season. So my coach did a good job of trying to just make transitions for me that were pretty easy. First start off at defense end, just go chase the ball, then move back a level just for, go chase the ball, but you have some coverage responsibilities. And junior year, just trying to put everything together and have coverage responsibilities and be able to communicate to the rest of the defense.
Sure. And you've played other sports, basketball, soccer. You've been a competitive athlete for quite a while before even playing football. What are some of the things that you've taken away from being a competitive athlete that you feel are important components to being successful as you look to this next level of going into the NFL, as well as just to be successful in life?
I think, being a competitor, helps give you that edge. Competing is something that I've always loved to do. It just gives you that extra drive, that extra will to win, so to speak, just so that, when days are hard, real competitors don't give in, they don't give up, and they see through whatever they're doing, and it carries over into all aspects of life. Just, the competitor in me doesn't allow me to, stop unless something's done or stop unless, I get the result that I want.
Absolutely. And when you started playing football, what was it about the game that made you fall in love with it?
It was just the excitement, the thrill of, the contact, the excitement, the fans. Just, it just looked like an exciting game, something that, could be fun as a team sport. And, I love spending time with my teammates and all that. So it was just something that I was drawn to. And when I was able to finally play, I definitely fell in love with it.
And I heard that you used to watch YouTube videos to pick up things on football. Tell us about why did you start watching videos on YouTube and what kind of things would you watch?
I always watched it when I was a kid. I had favorite players who I watched. When I first wanted to start playing, I wanted to play running back. Clinton Portis, who played for the Washington football team. He was one of my favorite players. I aspired to be like him, Adrian Peterson. And then started reading an article about, playing defense. And I started looking at defensive players, Sean Taylor and Ed, and all those. And I really started, when I went to high school, I told the coach I wanted to play safety. And they didn't let me play right away, but, later down the line, as I continued to progress in my development, they, allowed me to play. And I never looked back from there. But I would always watch highlights, watch highlights of different players, and just enjoy being a fan of the game.
And being a defensive back, it's one of the hardest positions to play in all of football, as they say. What about you makes you elite at that position?
I feel like, I'm a great athlete. I feel like I'm incredibly smart back there. I know, I pick them on tendencies on different offenses, different route combinations. I'm a stickler on studying the quarterback, what his tendencies are, what he likes to do, where he likes to go with the ball. I feel like, my range in the middle of the field is extraordinary. And I feel like, I just have a complete skill set. Of course, everything takes time and, you have to continue to get better at all aspects of the game. But I feel like, I have all the tools and capabilities to do anything on the back end.
So let's talk about you playing football at Maryland. Tell us about what your college football experience has been like for you.
It was fun. I really enjoyed playing college football. It was something that, I dreamed of as a kid, playing college football on a big stage. And, Maryland being in the Big Ten, we definitely played on a big stage, playing the Ohio States of the world, the Michigan State, Penn State. And it was just a great opportunity, a great fortune to be able to go out there and play against, such great talent. And just to go out there and compete, at the end of the day, I'm a competitor and I enjoy being able to compete. And the teammates in the locker room that I had from when I was a freshman to when I left a couple months ago, I loved all of them. I loved being around them, and they were truly fun to be around. Game day was nothing short of special, from the turf walk to, hearing the fans in the stadium to, singing the fight song afterwards. It was definitely something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
And you had 21 starts in your career. What was it about you? Like, what are the things that you did to make you competitive, to make you a great player, that to ensure that you were a high performer throughout the season?
It was just, little things, studying extra film, making sure that, your opponent inside and out, knowing the personnel, knowing who you're going up against, where the offense likes to go with the ball, studying the coordinators, because coordinators carry their offenses to wherever they go. Just knowing where he likes to go, what his sweet spots in the field are, what his bread and butter plays are. And at the end of the day, taking care of my body, making sure that, I'm in as best shape as possible to go out there and play on Saturdays.
Winning in both life and football is all about overcoming obstacles. We all have different stories. We all have different things that we've overcome. Can you share with us an obstacle that you've had to overcome to be where you're at today?
I feel like, I've always, had to overcome just the newness to the game. It's not something that I've been playing my entire life like other people who I've played with or played against. It's something that is still relatively new. And it's just, trying to continue to get better and catch up with the rest of the competition, so to speak. So I think that, other than that, I've been pretty fortunate to have lived a blessed life and not to have any super obstacles to overcome. But I feel like just, continuing to get better and continuing to catch up to the rest of the field and, playing experience and everything is something that, is always have to overcome.
And we all have things, experiences, moments in our life that really help us to grow and become better players, better individuals. Can you tell us a time that was a growth moment for you where you really felt like that experience helped shape you to become a better player?
I'd probably say when I first got to Maryland, not playing. I didn't play as much as I wanted to the first half of the season. And it was really just, a moment to sit back and know that I had all the athletic tools, but, if I didn't know the playbook or if wasn't able to go out there and make the right communication, I wouldn't be able to play. And, I was able to give me time to really sit down and focus on, getting comfortable into the playbook, letting the game slow down a little bit so that I can go out there and make the right communication, make the right calls and checks so that the defense can play fast and I can play fast as well.
And I mentioned when I read your bio that this past season you had 3 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. Is there anything that you did differently this season than the other seasons in training or just trying to be better at the game?
I would say that, this offseason I really dedicated time to, learning the game, making sure that I knew how offenses try to attack certain defenses. Every day during the offseason, me and Coach Baker, we would sit in his office and we'd watch film, NFL film, college film, just watch the chess match in the game, just, how offensive coordinators try to attack defensive coordinators, how defenses try to present things to the offense so that they can get the results that they want. And, it really opened my eyes and allowed me to see the game in a different light. Training was training. I continued to train hard, hit the track, I hit the pool, hit multiple workouts a day just to, make sure my body's conditioned so that I can go out there and perform at a high level. And then I really just put an emphasis on, taking the ball away, practice punching the ball out, going for interceptions instead of pass breakups, and just trying to go out there and test my limits during practice and see, where I can let things slide and where I can't let things slide. Just play around with things and, continue to just study the game and study the film.
And as you look back on your entire college career, what was the most memorable game for you?
I'd probably say, we have a couple. I'd probably say first and foremost, the Pinstripe Bowl win last season was very memorable. The entire experience going to New York and being able to go and spend time with your teammates and enjoy the 4 or 5 days we were down there. And then on top of that, being able to play in such a legendary stadium as Yankee Stadium and going and winning the way we did and finishing off the season the way with a winning record, 7-6, and taking that next step to, becoming the team we wanted to be was something that I always look back on. Every day, some way, shape, or form. I'm always reminded of the Pinstripe Bowl. I still have the bracelet on from when we went. Another game will probably be West Virginia, first game of the season. We coming off a COVID year where we only played 5 games. And, it was almost surreal thinking that, wow, college football is really back in its purest form. And it was just fun. We were able to play out there. We played a great game, offense, defense, special teams, and we were able to get the win in front of our home crowd. We had new uniforms on, so it was, definitely, a lot of hype behind the game. We all played well, and we got the win.
Absolutely. And so let's talk about, you still have college eligibility left, but you decided to come out. Why now?
I would say that, feel like I was ready to take that next step. At the end of the day, I live in the here and now, and, it was always a dream of mine to go play in the NFL. And over the past 3 years, with hard work, with help from my coaches, I've been able to, be afforded the opportunity to have that, as an option to be able to potentially leave early. And, at the end of the day, it was something, I had an opportunity and, I wanted to take full advantage of it. And, I made the decision to come out and declare for the draft and not look back.
And I want to talk about the combine here in a minute. But before we go there, talk about some of the things that you were doing in your preparation and your training for the combine.
Went down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Matt Gates and Tony Villani, XPE. I feel like they're the best training facility in the country when it comes to getting athletes ready for the combine, getting guys ready to run the 40, do the position work, do the skill, the agility drills, and everything. So, I went down there, met with Matt, met with Tony, and basically, I told him what I wanted, my goals were for the combine. It's really just, it's 2 months where, something that I miss right now. I really enjoy, going down there, waking up and training and really just, being able to focus on football. We work out twice a day, massage, physical therapist, everything that they had down there, just used it to its fullest to be able to take care of my body and make sure I was in tip-top shape. It was a great experience. We worked on our 40, we worked on, make sure we were strong, fast, explosive, so we can go out there and put up amazing numbers. And, it was definitely fulfilling to see on this whole weekend, see myself and all the rest of the guys who trained down there go put up monstrous numbers. Tariq Woolen, Kaylon, Taekwon, Chig, all of them just being able to put up monster numbers at the combine. And it just showed the hard work and the competitive atmosphere we had down there.
Absolutely. And you showed out as well down at the combine, ended up running a 4.34 for your 40, which was the fastest safety to run this year. So awesome job there. 37-inch vertical jump, 130-inch broad jump. Great job. And obviously a testament to the hard work that you've put in while getting ready for the combine. And you mentioned Chig, your teammate, also did well. Number 1 tight end to run the 40 as well, 4.52. So you guys are definitely doing something right down there. So talk to us about your combine experience. What was it like for you just being there? Not just the drills, but just the whole overall experience there.
It was a lot of fun. At the end of the day, they're one of 324 guys to be invited to the combine. So among elite company, at the end of the day, it's not something that everybody wakes up and gets to do and go to the combine. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication. At the end of the day, it was a very memorable experience from the moment I got off the plane in Indianapolis to the moment I got back home to Maryland. It was a lot of fun, being able to go and meet the guys, see some guys you haven't seen since high school at those big camps and everything. And, see some guys you really become friends with a lot of the guys, although the groups kind of overlapped and, were intermingled here and there, you're able to, run into a couple guys and just really just form bonds and relationships that, I feel like some of them can carry over into lifetime. You meet a lot of head coaches that you've grown up watching on TV, seeing different scouts and just, going through the interview process. And those days they were long days, but in the day, I wouldn't have it any other way, all the medical stuff. It was definitely something that I cherished and something that, I just had to live in the moment and enjoy.
Absolutely. And great opportunities to connect with awesome people in the industry, which is always important because as you know, football is small and so you never know where your career will take you. So great opportunity to meet with awesome people in the industry. So if someone were to ask you, Nick, why should a team pick you over someone else? What would you say?
Well, I would say, I have the capability of doing a lot for your team. I can play anywhere in the defensive backfield, in the post, in the box, on the hash. I can blitz, I can play man coverage, play zone coverage, nickel, everything. I play all four special teams when I was in college. Played multiple positions on each special team. And at the end of the day, I also can have the ability to catch punts. And at the end of the day, I feel like, off the field, you never have to worry about me. I'm a pro's pro. I feel like I handle myself with the professional manner, with the professional mindset. And, I'd be a great ambassador for any organization that decides to give me an opportunity.
Great answer. So at some point, football will eventually come to an end. Have you thought about what your plans are after you're done playing?
I still want to go back and get my degree. I didn't finish. I wasn't able to finish my degree when before I declared. I want to be able to go back and do that. Hopefully, be able to get into the broadcasting field once I'm done. Hopefully, I'm able to have a very long career and get into the broadcasting. And my degree was in finance, so something along the lines of investment banking or money management, things like that.
All right. So what I want to do now is run you through my 2-minute drill, ask you some fun questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. First question is, outside of football, what do you like to do?
I'm a pretty chill person. I like to, watch Netflix. I watch Hulu. I like to cook a little bit, travel. I have a sneaker collection that, I'm very proud of. So do a lot of collecting shoes and collecting cologne as well. I have a couple of colognes I like to wear.
And what do you like to cook?
I'll cook anything. I like cooking, steak. I'll cook breakfast. Favorite meals, either pancakes or French toast. So I'll cook one of those too.
Okay. Next question is, what is one thing most people don't know about you?
I actually play saxophone. I played saxophone since I've been in fourth grade. Haven't played it as frequently as I used to, but, I still have a general gist of how to play it and could still, bang out a couple songs.
Oh, that's awesome. What 3 words would you use to describe yourself?
Smart, tough, reliable.
Great 3 choices. If you had one intro song that could be played at all of your public appearances, what would that song be?
It's called Bring It On by NBA Youngboy. I'm not a huge Youngboy fan, but, Chig has been very adamant about me listening to NBA Youngboy. And, that was that was one of the songs that, I like listening to by him.
What is the best piece of advice you've been given by a coach?
It's all about the work. At the end of the day, it's all about continuing to get better, continue to improve yourself in every aspect. And at the end of the day, every day you want to improve, even if it's a minute 1%, we want to be able to get 1% better. Those 1%, will stack up at the end of the day and you'll look up and however long and, you'll see how far you came and you'll be happy with that.
Absolutely. It's all about that 1%. Has a compounding effect too. So if you just keep focusing on 1% better every single day, they say in a year, you're going to be amazed at how far you've come. So the next question, I'm going to flip it and ask you, what is the best piece of advice you would give someone?
I would say trust the process. At the end of the day, everybody's process is different. Everybody's path is different. So, don't try to compare yourself to somebody else's path or how they got to where they got to. At the end of the day, your path is your path, and where you're going to end up is where you need to be. It might not be where you want to be right now, but at the end of the day, you're going to end up where you need to be. And at the end of the day, you're only competing with yourself, trying to be the best version of yourself you can be every day.
Absolutely. And trust the process is one of my favorite quotes. I talk about it a lot on the show too. So the next question is, you're hosting a dinner party and you can invite 3 famous people, living or deceased. Who would you choose and why?
I say Jesus. I invite God, make sure, ask him a couple questions. Who else would I invite? Probably invite my mom. She can experience that with me. And then I'll invite probably either Ed Reed or Sean Taylor, one of those two. Just pick their brain a little bit. I've actually talked to Ed Reed a little bit before. But, either one of those two, just be able to sit down and talk to them and gain knowledge from them would be nice.
Great 3 choices. And do you sing in the shower?
Do I sing in the shower? Occasionally, if there's a song that I've been listening to or a song that's stuck in my head, a few not so melodious notes might come out of my mouth, but I don't do. It's not an everyday thing, but sometimes, yeah, I do.
All right. So as we look to close the show, let people know, where can they follow you?
So my Instagram is Nick_Cross26. Twitter's the same thing. So you can just follow me there. I'm more of an Instagram user than a Twitter user, but the other day you can follow me on both, and I'll follow you back.
Perfect. And we will make sure to have those in the show notes so people can follow you. Nick, thank you so much for joining the show today.
No, thank you for having me.
And I wish you much success in this next chapter. And thanks to everyone for listening to today's episode. Once again, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend or two about the show as well. It's one way you can help me to move the ball. All right. Thanks so much, everyone, for listening. And we will catch you next time. Until then, make sure that you suit up, you show up, and you move the ball. Thank you for listening to Move the Ball. To see more about what I'm up to and how I can help you to move the ball in your business, with your brand, or your career, check out my website at www.getinsidethehuddle.com. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode, and also join the Move the Ball Facebook group for even more content and to be a part of the Move the Ball movement.